Misty Winston. Thanks for hanging out with us, and appreciate Jimmy Dore for inviting me back. Was a little very grateful for him to text me yesterday and ask me to come in. So we are now going to talk about, I am in Ohio. For those of you that don't know, I'm just outside of Columbus, and this is some shenanigans that's going down right here in my home state. So the ACLU is demanding Ohio sheriffs to release immigrant detainees held under invalid ICE agreements. This is a wild story. So the ACLU of Ohio is calling on 8 county sheriffs to release immigrant detainees, arguing that they have no legal authority to hold them under a recent opinion from the state's attorney general. And in August 26th opinion, Attorney General Dave Yost said only county commissioners, not sheriffs, can authorize contracts with U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. The ACLU said that means past agreements signed by sheriffs were invalid from the start and, quote, hold no legal force, end quote. So sheriffs were basically just taking it upon themselves to give themselves the power. And then they were arresting people. So this letter sent Thursday was addressed to sheriffs in Butler, Fairfield, Fayette, Geauga, Lake, Portage, Mahoning, and Seneca counties, as well as the executive director of the Correction Center of Northwest Ohio. Quote, Attorney General Yost has made abundantly clear that all county agreements with ICE must be authorized by the Board of County Commissioners. County sheriffs cannot bootstrap themselves into having this authority, end quote, said Frida Levinson, the ACLU of Ohio's legal director. Quote, striking these agreements means there is no legal authority to hold the immigrants currently incarcerated in our county jails. The people detained under these invalid agreements are being held unconstitutionally and must be released immediately, end quote. Levinson added that counties are under no obligation to partner with federal immigration officials. Quote, it's necessary to understand as well that there is no obligation for local counties to participate at all in federal immigration enforcement in partnership with ICE does not improve public safety or protect our communities, end quote, Levinson said. The ACLU is demanding the immediate release of immigrant detainees currently in custody and an end to what it calls, quote, unlawful immigration enforcement, end quote, in the affected counties. So this article goes over a little bit more of the details of what General Yost actually said. So there's a few key takeaways from this story that was put out. So Yost's opinion said county governments are permitted to enter into contracts with U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. These agreements allow counties to house individuals facing civil immigration charges in local jails for extended periods. So unlike a standard 48-hour detainer request from ICE, these contracts enable counties to hold detainees indefinitely while their federal immigration cases are processed, which can take months or even longer. This opinion provides a legal framework for counties like Butler, Geauga, and Mahoning, which already have such agreements in place.
Wait, where do they hold the detainees? At a 5-star hotel?
Yeah, right.
Like in New York, they're holding them in the 5-star hotel.
No, they get to go to the disgusting county jails here in.
Well, it sounds
Ohio.
important. This sounds like an important liberty, civil liberties case. So good thing the ACLU spent its entire what do you call it? Respect on any level on Amber Heard in anticipation of this very.
Dude, the ACLU has been useless for a very long time.
It's like an operation because this is not going to help with that. The ACLU. I don't understand why there's such a thing of like, okay, is there a law about if you can come in? Why is the states and the federal government fighting each other on a very simple thing? And then it's like the one that is enforcing it, they're sending them to the wrong countries and shit.
Yeah,
I don't understand why the very simple thing can't just be followed. And I'm like, I always have to like, okay, who's behind this one small aspect of it at every one of these stories?
Yeah. The chaos is the purpose, I think. And I think that they like having these people to hold into prisons and do whatever they want with. And sending them to other countries is a wild thing. And that's a little bit off topic. But the idea that we're sending
a comedy
people.
movie called Johnny Dangerously, they deport the head gangster. I can't remember what his name was. They report him and he goes, deported to Sweden, says he's not from there. Like that was an absurd, like Naked Gun type movie headline, which is now a reality.
Yeah, it's crazy. And everybody think that's fine. And they're calling it deportation. It's not deportation. That is basically extraordinary rendition. And we need to just call it what it is. So this opinion that Attorney General Yost actually put out, it reverses previous legal guidance that came from the previous Attorney General, Mark Dan, from 2007. So his guidance stated that sheriffs could only jail individuals based on criminal charges and not civil immigration violations. Obviously, moods have changed. So Yost argued that the 2007 opinions were flawed because they, quote, failed to address other statutes, end quote, that authorize such agreements. He asserted that while Ohio law does not explicitly permit civil immigration detention, it also does not prohibit it. drawing parallels to other forms of civil detention like those for contempt of court or failure to pay child support. So this is where there was a lot of discrepancy, because sheriffs literally just took it upon themselves to give themselves the power to start doing this and enter into these contracts and start arresting people. And it's the commissioners that have this authority, not sheriffs. So the opinion clarifies a key point of authority, specifying that only a county's board of commissioners has the power to sign detention contracts with ICE. Sheriffs do not have the independent authority to enter into these agreements, yet they have been. Yost wrote that the commissioners may enter into such an agreement, quote, on behalf of the sheriff, end quote. This distinction is crucial for establishing the proper procedure for counties wishing to partner with federal immigration authorities, and defines the legal rules of different county officials in the process. The opinion was sought as a protection against lawsuits. So this is really, they're trying to make sure they have their asses covered, because there's probably going to be lawsuits.
Can't both you and I be infinitely detained since Obama signed that habeas corpus thing away?
Yep, the NDAA.
So are you telling me that immigrants had more rights than me?
Possibly.
Born here could be detained like that.
Yeah.
So they're actually doing a battle about, it's just everything's so crazy with this.
Yeah. And it feels like it's like these minute details that they're like bantering back and forth. Like, is it the commissioner that has the power, or the sheriff that has the power, and who gets to jail these people indefinitely, and where do they go? It seems like,
you know what I take it as? These corrupt local governments.
Mm-hmm.
The reason that they're doing mass illegal immigration on purpose is to lower wages, obviously, but different states have different oligarchical needs. So, you know, they're going to have certain parts of the local government bought out to do whatever, and then that's what the fights are over. Somebody's business relies on them looking the other way, and somebody else is screwing with it. Nobody, I mean, there shouldn't even be a conflict. I don't understand. Like, it's a real basic law. I don't understand why I'm supposed to be mad at ICE for existing. I mean, I should be mad at Homeland Security too on the same basis then. Because I still got to take my shoes off at the airport because I don't want to make an appointment to get registered.
Do they still do that?
Well, and here in
I don't
Austin,
fly much.
I don't blame you. The doors fall off now. Here, once they took the white guy off Cracker Barrel, that was a signal. He's back. Don't worry, everyone. He's back on the. I'm taking a flight out of Austin. They go, we're experimenting with not having people take their shoes off, and it actually made me like really mad, because I'm like, oh, the thing that we already verified is a thing that could be done, and we shouldn't have had to do this for 20 years. You're experimenting with not having people take their shoes off.
Yeah.
I just such a, like, it's a person being told to say it to me, but like whoever's behind that, that's what you're going to tell people. This country should be a podcast now. It should not be a country. It's a podcast.
It's a joke. It's a very not funny joke, but it's a joke. It's embarrassing, all of the stuff that's going on, and it's very intentional. I think it's the controlled demolition of the American empire.
Yes, Anne Rand wrote about it in Atlas Shrugged.
Yeah.
Which wrote about the great John Galt.
It's wild what's happening right now. And I'm not saying necessarily we should be mad that ICE exists, but we should definitely be mad about the way that ICE is conducting itself right now. Like cruising around with no identifying clothing, no uniform, masks on, and violently kidnapping people off the streets and then just like whisking them off.
I was all for it when it was MS-13. Okay, because I'm worried about innocent people getting grabbed, but luckily they all tattooed MS-13 on their goddamn face. So if they ever figured out how to not do that, we'd be in big trouble. But so see, this is how the shoehorn in. I don't give a fuck what they do to MS-13. They're scum.
No, I don't think any of us do.
Next thing I hear, they're kidnapping a chick off the street who's here legally because she wrote a college newspaper op-ed that she didn't think Israel was doing that great a job in Gaza. What the fuck? Like, that blew me away. So, and then my favorite part, not long after that, Trump says 25 million H-1B visa illegal immigrants are going to be naturalized because he made this out of his mouth, because he compromised with the people that are causing this problem in the first place.
Yep.
And he's talking about like, you're an asshole. So the whole reason to get rid of the illegals, which, you know, they're illegal, so get rid of them. The whole reason was they're taking your job. That's the mean joke to redneck. They took my job.
Yeah.
He's literally keeping the ones that are
taking the jobs. Yeah.
Okay. And who are they sending away?
Yeah.
Whoever the local sheriff's office has a grudge with, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Because they look the other way all these years with these are like businesses where the sheriff looks the other way. and then they decide to start cracking down when
well,
they feel
it's
like
destroying farms. Like local farms
Yeah.
here have lost a significant amount of their workforce because people are afraid to come to work. And yes, I get it. They're here illegally. And that's a conversation that we can have. But we can't just like start gallivanting across the country in just completely unmarked and just start randomly kidnapping people with no due process. And
Pick
just
them out of the Purdue chicken plant where they replaced Americans. We can do that 100%.
Yeah.
See, right. And the no due process thing. Well, now look, if I'm somewhere I'm not supposed to be and they throw me the hell out, I'm not going to be like, where's my due process? Because I snuck in fair and square. But then there's other considerations for other people. Apparently it doesn't even matter if it's illegal or not now.
No, they don't care. That's what they say to make themselves feel better about it.
We can have a conversation about, but why bother? They're taking people that aren't illegal now.
Yeah.
This entire thing has been cocked up from the start.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And this is, again, it's red meat for MAGA. They know that their base eats it up. It's also a way to cause division. They want you mad at immigrants so that you're not, again, they're so good at this game.
I drove a truck and a Sikh took my job for less money. And
they want you mad at everybody except the actual problem. Like I can promise you, an immigrant is not your enemy. Now, like a violent MS-13, that's a problem for sure. But some immigrant who's here illegally and is just trying to like work and make a better life for their family, not your enemy. Promise you, not your enemy.
It's not that. It's not about it being an enemy. And like some people said, but the main thing is I don't give a rat's ass. I'm from here and you're not. And so me first, motherfucker. And I understand our government is bad around the world. They are. I agree. That's not coming out of my end. See, it always comes out of the lowest guy's end.
Yeah. Right? Well, that's the problem though, Kurt. And nobody ever wants to talk about that aspect of it, is that if you don't want people to come here illegally, stop destroying their countries. They won't come here. I can promise you. Okay. Nobody wants to leave their home and make some arduous journey to a foreign country where they don't know the language, don't know anybody, have no life. Nobody wants to do that. So stop destroying their country through war and sanctions, and that'll solve the problem, or at least part of it. It's not going to solve all of it, but that'll be a huge, tremendous help.
Yeah,
but they're never going to do that.
In the meantime, I should be protected because I'm right here where this happens. So I'm not like, see, that's the larger picture. But once it's happening to you, nobody gives a shit about the larger picture when it's happening to them. They're not going to be philosophical about it. I was a trucker, now I can't get work. Fuck, I don't care about that. We blew it. Now I'm happy we blew it up because I got fucked personally by you understand? Yeah. So you can't even get to that. But it don't matter what level you're on. They're screwing it up. Wherever you land on this, they're doing some bizarre, not related to the thing here. Yeah. Okay,
as so
it's ridiculous to even have the argument because don't worry, they're doing something crazy instead of the thing that you maybe wanted them to
Come
do.
See me on tour in Edmonton, Calgary, Vancouver, Appleton, Wisconsin, Rosemont, Illinois, Chicago, Louisville, Fort Wayne, Indiana, Hermosa Beach, Sacramento, San Francisco. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.